boogieing down this little country road. Lots of twists and turns. Pedal to the metal. Just on a little back road. To give you guys an idea how much snow they had in California, this is the California high desert. That slope is south facing, and there's still snow up there. That is incredible. It's 30 degrees out there, 30 Celsius. All right, 5:30 in the morning, we're taking off. Campsite is cleaned up. We've got one bag to put in there. Great campsite, Alomar Lake, I think it's called. Look at the size of some of these trees. Northern Cal, lots of forest fire destruction around here, and still tons of snow in the mountains. Unfortunately, some of these trees are doomed to get thinned out. Look at that beauty. Unfortunately, it's not a Sitka spruce. I'm not going to be getting airplanes out of that one. But boy, there are some big trees in this campground. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of the devastation from those wildfires last year, the year before. Did a job. More of the fire damage. Just look at all those dead trees. This is only part of it. I've been driving through this for quite a while. Just amazing to me, the damage that was done. This is east of Chico. I've got the plane on its side. I'm just doing this piece of plywood. Goes in there. I've got the little splice here to level it off. So that'll go like that. All the way down, and there's that splice at the bottom. And you put one on the inside as well. Like that. So that'll go like that. Got it? One there and one on the outside. I looked at that for a while and I thought, well, why not go right across to there? So I made a wider one that goes all the way across. Now the only problem is I had to sand this because this is level with this, but this is level with that, or the top longeron. Can I zoom this out? No, that's as about as it gets. So down here, I've got my little wedge in there to make this nice and level. What I had to do with this separator is bevel it so that it's flat with this. So it's nice and flat all the way across. And I stopped right down there. And so what I did to make this work is on 1/8 ply, I just beveled a little bit there so that it fits in that little area right there. So it all works out just right. And I thought having a big piece on there all the way across, it joins the main blocking. In between there, I've got the 1/8, and then on here, I've got the DHF 9s across here. So this is already glued to this, which is glued to this, so that's all glued together. But I thought it'd be nice just to add one right across the bottom there. Probably absolutely no reason for it. It might be a little stronger, and it just looks a little better if you ask me, just to join that whole piece instead of just that piece, which is perfectly fine. Is what they say to do. I went ahead and I thought, it looks just a little bit better to join that whole thing. Makes it a little bit stronger. So that's what I'm gonna do with on that side, and then I'm just using the small piece on that side. So I'll glue those all together to get that nice and beefy. And once I get that done, then I can add the cross members that start up here and go to this main beam, the diagonals from here to here and from here to here. Get that tied in. I have questions on those, but it's no, I don't think there's any answer. This is the picture of the diagonals coming and meeting that main beam. It doesn't give any distance on where to put those along that beam. There's no distance. So I'm just guessing and putting them wherever they happen to fit on there with about that much of a gap. Anyone have a specific number? That'd be great, but I'm just gonna do it like that. I have it on its side because I added the bracing underneath here up to the top. I added the blocks there. So that floor pan is done. I'm just getting that one done, and then I can put her back up to where she's supposed to be, and I'll get those final diagonals on there. I still have to add the blocking in the corners here though. I put that on yesterday, so I'll add the blocking for those corners today as well. And that should have that floor plan taken care of. That's it, another day. I'm off to the Red Deer Air Show, but I thought I'd just sure that that's on. I've got a little piece in there, and I put one on the front as well, just so that's nice and smooth all the way across. Right there, right there. Nice smooth transition. So that is the main, I don't know, cross member and the struts mount down here on the fuselage. So that will support the strut that goes up to the wing. There's going to be a metal bracket that goes on there, and that's what that member is on the bottom of the fuselage. So that's the way it would sit. I've just got it sideways. I'm pretty happy with that. I just like the look of that with one piece of ply across the bottom. It looks better. I've got some nice transition strips there now, so that all works out perfectly. Just going to do a little blocking here in the future, and then we'll put it back the way it should be. Stay tuned for, I am debating the landing gear. I've got plans for, well, I've got this Thorpe T18 here, and I was looking at the landing gear for it. I've also got plans for the Cozy and for GP4. So I'm going to look at landing gear plans for those. I think that I can make a set of composite landing gear that would be cleaner than the aluminum tubes that they have for this one. I also had Challenger, and the Challenger had similar to this. These are just metal struts. The Challenger just had aluminum struts. The Challengers with just the aluminum struts, if you had a hard landing, they would bend, so you would take a piece of wooden dowel and put inside the strut, and that would beef those up a bit. Looking at the Cozies though, I know it's a composite landing gear, and I'm just wondering about the weight, if I'm going to save any weight by going with composite. The strength isn't going to be a problem because I know the Cozy is probably 3 times the weight as this. So that's just what I'm thinking about now, is what to set up for bracing if I'm going with a different landing gear configuration. And I don't know if that's what these, they don't tell us in the plans what these blocks are for, so I'll have to look at the plans for the landing gear to see where they mount. I was wondering if these were for landing gear attach points. So, more about that. All right, I've got all the blocking in place on the bottom of the fuselage. So that's the floor of the fuselage. I've got the bottom supports in there on the bottom of the fuselage with blocking on the top one, and I've got both blockings there. Again, I don't know what this distance is supposed to be. It doesn't have any distance on the plans, so I took approximately what they have on the plans and put it up to there. Now they just have little blocking here and a little blocking here. Between them, I'm gonna put one solid block in there all the way along, and then there's blocking that goes on top as well. So I just want to make sure that's supported, because that again is the main beam that supports the wing strut going out on each side. So that's probably one of the most stressed members on the plane. So I want to make sure that that gets some good support in there. Otherwise, it's almost ready to go back onto its bottom. And then we'll maybe start doing up this firewall area and planning for the engine. There's a few things we have to do inside still. The main spar cross member, I gotta put that into place. The seat back, the seat, I don't know what, I have to read again to see what floor goes on this part of the floor and how that's placed in there. It doesn't say on the part that I'm on the instructions, it just says follow the plans, but there's not much there for plans, so we're just plunking away, doing a little bit at a time till it looks like an airplane. Open her